Imagine a secret buried beneath the ancient city of Jerusalem, hidden for more than 3,000 years. Imagine a tomb, but not just any tomb, possibly that of King Solomon, regarded as one of the wisest and wealthiest rulers in history. For centuries, this legendary king has inspired questions. Did he really exist? Was his tomb real? And if so, what mysteries and treasures might lie hidden there? King Solomon is famous for his incredible wisdom, vast wealth, and the grand temple he built in Jerusalem. The stories say he ruled over a magnificent kingdom and had riches that could fill entire palaces. Despite his immense fame, no one has ever been able to confirm his burial location until now. Archaeologists have spent decades searching for his tomb, following clues hidden in history and the Bible. And when they finally uncovered it, what they found left everyone amazed. It all started with a determined archaeologist named Dr. Eilat Mazar. She believed the stories about King Solomon might be more than just legends. Using ancient texts as her guide, she began digging in a part of Jerusalem called the City of David. This is one of the oldest parts of the city and is believed to be where King David, Solomon's father, ruled his kingdom. Dr. Mazar and her team discovered ancient walls, giant stones, and even a gatehouse that seemed to belong to a massive royal building. These structures were extraordinarily ancient, tracing their origins to the era of Solomon's alleged existence. But the most exciting discovery came later. Among the ruins, they found artifacts that hinted at something extraordinary. There were clay jars with Hebrew inscriptions, pieces of pottery, and seals with the names of important people from that time. All of these clues suggested they were on the trail of something big. And then they found it, a tomb hidden beneath layers of earth and history. The tomb itself was a marvel. The walls were carved with incredible skill, and the space seemed fit for a king. Inside, there were items that told stories of a great and powerful ruler, tools, decorations, and even symbols of wealth and authority. But the most important discovery wasn't gold or jewels. It was the confirmation that Solomon was more than just a legend. The tomb, along with the other artifacts, proved that a powerful kingdom had once thrived in ancient Israel. This discovery changed everything. For a long time, some people believed Solomon was just a made-up character from the Bible, and his kingdom was nothing more than a myth. But now, with these findings, it's clear that Solomon was real, and his kingdom was grander than anyone had imagined. This was the world of King Solomon, whose reign around 970–931 BCE marked the peak of Israel's golden age. Solomon's story is a blend of history, legend, and mystery, with his name woven into the very fabric of biblical accounts. Yet, for centuries, skeptics and scholars alike have debated the truth behind these tales. The Bible and ancient traditions speak of Solomon as a wise ruler who built the first temple in Jerusalem, a structure so magnificent it was said to house the Ark of the Covenant. However, despite his fame, the location of his burial has remained hidden until recent archaeological discoveries began shedding light on this ancient puzzle. King Solomon, the son of David and Bathsheba, ascended to the throne of Israel after his father's death. People describe his rule as a period of unparalleled prosperity, during which trade flourished and Israel emerged as a beacon of power in the ancient world. Remember to join our community by subscribing to this channel. The Bible recounts Solomon's wisdom, highlighting stories like his famous judgment between two women claiming to be the mother of the same child. These tales painted Solomon as more than a king. He was a symbol of divine insight. But what truly set Solomon apart was his monumental building projects, particularly the construction of the first temple, completed around 957 BCE. This temple wasn't just a place of worship, it was a statement of Israel's might and Solomon's connection to God. Made of the finest cedar wood and adorned with gold, the temple solidified Jerusalem's status as a spiritual and political hub. Despite his achievements, Solomon's death remains shrouded in mystery. Ancient texts suggest his burial in the city of David, close to his father. However, as centuries passed and Jerusalem grew, the exact location of his tomb faded from memory. Wars, invasions, and natural disasters buried much of Jerusalem's history beneath layers of earth and rubble. For years, many dismissed the search for Solomon's tomb as chasing shadows. Some believed it was destroyed, while others argued it never existed. Yet, the discovery of ancient structures in the city of David reignited hope. For centuries, the relationship between science and religion has been a topic of debate. On one side, science seeks evidence, solid, measurable facts that can stand the test of scrutiny. On the other, religion offers a lens of faith, interpreting the world through divine principles and ancient texts. Few stories bring this tension to life as vividly as the search for King Solomon's tomb. The Bible tells us of Solomon, a king of unmatched wisdom and power, who built a kingdom so grand it seemed almost mythical. His temple, his riches, and his legendary reign are described in extraordinary detail. Yet many modern scholars questioned whether Solomon even existed, let alone ruled such a vast and prosperous land. This skepticism isn't born out of disbelief, but from a lack of solid archaeological evidence. Until recently, the Bible has long served as a historical guide for archaeologists. While many dismiss it as a purely spiritual text, others argue that its detailed accounts offer clues to real historical events. This approach is controversial because science traditionally avoids relying on religious texts, favoring physical evidence instead. This debate reached a turning point when the discoveries in the city of David were revealed. Among the ruins, researchers found artifacts like pottery fragments, ceremonial items, and seals bearing ancient Hebrew names. These items provided a glimpse into life during Solomon's time, and their location matched biblical descriptions of his kingdom. One of the most compelling discoveries was a monumental gatehouse, believed to have been part of a royal complex. The discovery highlights the extent to which the Bible can serve as a historical guide. As scientists uncover more of Jerusalem's ancient history, they also face a moral and spiritual dilemma. Some religious scholars warn that delving too deeply into sacred sites could desecrate holy ground. The search for Solomon's tomb highlights a larger truth. Science and religion don't have to be enemies. They are different ways of understanding the world, and when combined, they can offer a fuller picture of the past. Archaeology, in particular, thrives at this intersection, using the tools of science to explore questions rooted in faith. Dr. Mazaz's work shows that the Bible can be a powerful guide without compromising scientific integrity. By letting the stones speak, as she famously said, she demonstrated that faith and evidence can coexist, each enriching the other. For centuries, King Solomon's name has been synonymous with wisdom, wealth, and power. People said that his temple in Jerusalem, a masterpiece of ancient engineering, housed treasures beyond comprehension. Stories of Solomon's wisdom, like his legendary judgment of the two mothers, painted him as a ruler unlike any other. Yet, for all his fame, the physical evidence of his life and reign remained elusive, shrouded in the sands of time. The journey to find Solomon's final resting place has been anything but straightforward. Archaeologists have spent decades piecing together fragments of history, guided by ancient texts and faint clues. The city of David, one of the oldest parts of Jerusalem, became the focal point of this quest. This area, steeped in history, was where Dr. Eilat Mazar and her team began uncovering evidence that brought them closer to solving the mystery. One of the most astonishing discoveries was a massive gatehouse, part of a structure that seemed to belong to a royal complex. The precision of the construction and the artifacts found nearby, ancient pottery, Hebrew-inscribed seals, and ceremonial items, pointed directly to the 10th century BCE, the era of Solomon's reign. This wasn't just a random find, it was a sign that the stories of a magnificent kingdom might hold more truth than previously thought. Yet the journey is fraught with challenges. Centuries of conflict, reconstruction, and natural wear have layered Jerusalem's history, making excavations challenging. Modern structures bury many sites, and political and religious sensitivities render others inaccessible. These barriers only add to the allure, turning every discovery into a triumph against the odds. What makes this search so captivating isn't just the potential for treasure, but the stories embedded in every find. Each artifact tells of a time when kings ruled with power and precision, when cultures clashed and blended, and when faith and governance intertwined. The discoveries in Jerusalem don't just validate ancient texts, they bring them to life, offering a vivid glimpse into a world that shaped much of modern civilization. What keeps the search for Solomon's tomb so compelling is the balance of what is known and what remains hidden. The mysteries of the past have a way of calling to us, igniting curiosity and imagination. We are getting closer to unraveling the enigma of Solomon's life with each discovery, but we may still be waiting to unearth the most important revelations. The story of King Solomon's tomb is not just about finding a burial site, it's about unlocking the secrets of an ancient world. It reminds us of the enduring power of curiosity and the human desire to connect with our roots. We learn more about Solomon and ourselves through every artifact and evidence. As scientists and archaeologists push forward, the legacy of Solomon lives on, not just in what we find, but in the questions we continue to ask. The sands of time may conceal many mysteries, but with determination, discovery is always possible. One of the most fascinating legends about Solomon revolves around a ring said to hold magical properties. Known as Solomon's Ring or the Seal of Solomon, it was allegedly a signet ring inscribed with mystical symbols, granting him control over spirits, demons, and even animals. According to legend, this ring was the source of Solomon's unparalleled wisdom and power. The ring allowed him to communicate with supernatural entities and command them to perform tasks, such as building the grand first temple in Jerusalem. Solomon commanded the demons to move massive stones and create intricate designs beyond the reach of ordinary humans. Beyond construction, the ring was believed to give Solomon profound insight into the natural and spiritual worlds, enabling him to judge complex cases with divine clarity. Are you enjoying the story? Support our channel by clicking the subscribe button. One famous tale involves Solomon using his wisdom to determine the true mother of a baby claimed by two women, a story that showcases his ability to balance justice with compassion. Though there is no tangible evidence of the ring's existence, it remains a powerful symbol of Solomon's divine connection, featured in various mystical traditions, including Jewish, Islamic, and medieval European lore. Another enduring legend tied to Solomon is that of his fabled mines. Legends claim that these mythical mines hold unimaginable wealth in the form of gold, silver, and precious stones. The idea of these mines has captivated explorers and treasure hunters for centuries, fueling countless expeditions to uncover their location. The legend of King Solomon's mines gained prominence with H. Rider Haggard's 1885 novel of the same name, which portrayed them as a hidden trove of African treasures guarded by dangerous terrains and ancient traps. Despite its fictional nature, the book reignited interest in the potential existence of a real treasure trove associated with Solomon. The Bible provides ample historical documentation of Solomon's wealth. It describes massive quantities of gold and other riches brought to Jerusalem by traders and foreign rulers during his reign. However, no archaeological evidence supports the existence of these mines. Some scholars believe the legend of King Solomon's mines could be based on the lucrative trade networks and mining operations in regions like Ophir, thought to be a source of Solomon's wealth. The mystery of the mines remains unsolved, making it one of the most intriguing and enduring myths tied to Solomon's legacy. The tale of Solomon and the Queen of Sheba is another captivating chapter in his mythology. The Queen of Sheba, ruler of a prosperous and wealthy kingdom, often associated with modern-day Ethiopia or Yemen, is said to have visited Solomon to test his famed wisdom. According to the Bible, the queen arrived in Jerusalem with a grand caravan carrying gold, spices, and precious stones. She posed riddles to Solomon, all of which he answered with ease, impressing her with his intellect and insight. Many often portray their meeting as a moment of diplomatic brilliance, strengthening ties between their two kingdoms. However, some legends suggest their relationship went beyond politics. In Ethiopian tradition, it is said that the Queen of Sheba bore Solomon's child, a son named Menelik, who became the founder of Ethiopia's Solomonic dynasty. This dynasty claimed descent from Solomon and ruled Ethiopia for centuries, linking the biblical king's legacy to African history. The story of Solomon and the Queen of Sheba speaks to his charisma, intellect, and the far-reaching influence of his kingdom. It also highlights the interplay between historical record and myth, leaving room for both fascination and debate. His story is a blend of history, myth, and mystery, woven into the fabric of human imagination. Celebrated for his unparalleled wisdom, immense wealth, and monumental achievements, Solomon's legacy extends far beyond his reign. If you're enjoying this journey into King Solomon's mysteries, hit super thanks. You'll be supporting the exploration of history's greatest secrets and helping bring these stories to life. Yet his life remains shrouded in unanswered questions. The location of his tomb, the reality of his legendary mines, and the mystical powers attributed to him, like his magical ring, are mysteries that continue to intrigue. The connection to the Queen of Sheba adds further fascination, hinting at ties between distant lands and legacies that shaped generations. The search for Solomon's tomb is not just about finding physical remnants of his life, it's a quest to bridge the gap between myth and reality. Every discovery in Jerusalem's ancient ruins brings us closer to understanding the grandeur of his kingdom while deepening the enigma of what remains hidden. Solomon's enduring appeal lies in his role as a symbol of wisdom, power, and human aspiration. His story reminds us that the pursuit of knowledge is endless and that history's greatest mysteries often hold the keys to understanding ourselves. As we continue to uncover pieces of his past, Solomon's legacy remains a beacon of inspiration, urging us to seek wisdom and treasure the stories that define humanity. Thanks for watching. Join our community by subscribing to this channel until the next video.